I'm Tina McDonald, artist in residence with Imagine Crafts. For today's project, we're going to be using the Encore Ultimate Metallic inks as well as the VersaFine to create this beautiful layered card. Begin with a piece of ivory cardstock. We're going to be adding our first layer of color using the Encore inks in copper. Now go ahead and ink up your stamp, and in order to get a nice image, we're going to place a piece of felt underneath of our cardstock. So go ahead and stamp the image, center on the bottom, and then we're going to go ahead and clean our stamp using the Stays On All-Purpose Stamp Cleaner. The next layer of color is going to be using the VersaFine in Onyx Black. So we're going to repeat the process, and we're going to stamp just slightly off from what we already have done. So not too much, but just a little bit to the right. And once again, we'll go ahead and we'll clean our stamp. I always keep a rag handy, and that helps the cleanup to be nice and quick. Our third layer is going to be the bronze from the Encore. And when we stamp this, we're going to turn the stamp slightly. So it's not going to be straight on as the other ones were. We're going to slightly turn it. And this will give us 3 beautiful layers of color. And go ahead and clean your stamp as we did before. We're going to do a letterpress effect using Spellbinder's Labels 25. So using the black onyx ink, we're going to ink up our die template really well. So we want all of the metal to be covered with black. And once we have this done, we're going to place it very gently over top of our stamped image. Once you place it down, do not move it. So don't slide it at all. Go ahead and tape this into place so that it doesn't move, and then we're going to cut and emboss this piece. So place this upside down onto your base plate, and we're going to cover it with the cutting plate, and then go ahead and run it through your cutting machine. Then replace the cutting plate with the tan embossing mat and the embossing plate, and this will give us our embossed look. Set this aside. Now to create our card base, I've used craft cardstock, and I'm going to trim a piece of black cardstock, just slightly smaller than that. Then a piece of ivory cardstock, which I've embossed using Spellbinder's Embossabilities folder. Now to create some color on here, we're going to be using the Encore ink in copper, and we're going to do a direct to paper technique. So take your ink pad and just slide it directly across the paper, and this will add ink to those raised areas. Now go ahead and adhere these 3 layers together to create the front of our card. Next, we're going to take a piece of ribbon, and we're going to lay it across the front of our card. The label that we created, I'm adding some foam tape to it, and we're going to adhere the ribbon down using the label. So stretch the ribbon across and then add your label over top, and this will adhere everything together. Then go ahead and tie your ribbon into a nice bow. I'm going to add a little flower to the front of our bow, so I'm going to add some color to it using the bronze Encore ink. So just roll the flower over the top, and then we're going to add this using a glue dot. To finish up my card, I went ahead and stamped my sentiment up over top of the flowers. And to coordinate with this card, I went ahead and created a matching envelope by stamping the bronze ink from the Encore collection onto the sides using the same stamp. Thanks so much for tuning into today's video. For more project ideas using the Encore Ultimate Metallic inks, please join Imagine Crafts on Facebook, Pinterest, or at imaginecrafts.com.